Okay. So I think last class we covered the class C subnetting, right? So hope you guys attended that session. So if you didn't attend class C subnetting and also you didn't watch the recordings, then you will not understand today's class. Okay. So people who didn't attend last class, didn't check the recordings, they can better leave the meeting now itself because you'll not be able to understand anything. Okay. Yes. So we'll start now. Yeah. So we'll start with class A. Sorry, class B. See, let me recall what we did in the last class, right? Just a couple of minutes. We took a network 192.168.1.0 and we had 192.168.1.255. Yeah. So this is a network, and this network we divided into two initially. Okay, so totally 256 IPs will be there, but we divided them into 128, 128. Okay, and after that we divided that into four. So which means we had 1.192.168, 1.0 to 1.255. We divided that into four networks, right? Where you had each network has got 64 IPs. Okay, and also we understood the combination and all, right? Initially, when you have a default mask, I'm talking about class C now. Okay, so when you have a default mask which is 255.255.255.0, what is the combination? 2 par changed bits into 2 par unchanged bits, correct? Okay, how many bits changed? Here, change bits, right? In this case, the change bits is 0. No bits has been changed because this is the default Subnet mask. Unchanged bits is 8. Okay, so what is the combination? The combination is 2 par 0 into 2 par 8 IPs. Okay, so this is 2 par, okay, this is network actually. 2 par change bits will be network, 2 par unchanged bits will be IPs. Same way here, 2 par 0 networks, sorry, and 2 par 8 IPs. So which is nothing but one network into 256 IPs. Okay, so this is by default, right? This is how it works. And when you, this is where you further start subnetting, you break this network. So you get 255.255.255.128. Then which means how many bits has been changed? 2 par changed bits will be network, and into 2 par unchanged bits will be IPs, correct? Okay, so in that case, 2 par 1 network into 2 par 7 IPs. So we had what? We had two networks into 128 IPs. Right, so you break that into two networks with this mask, you'll break this into two networks, and then each network is going to have 128 IPs. So further it keeps going, right? So if the mask is 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 192, then it's going to be 2 par, how many bits changed? 2 par 2 into 2 par 6. Okay, 2 par 2 networks into 2 par 6 IPs. Which is going to give you what? It's going to give you 4 networks into 64 IPs. So it goes like this, right? And further you subnet what you got? You got 8 networks into, for the next subnetting 8 networks into 32 IPs. Next we had what? 16 networks into 16 IPs, right? All these things I wrote. If you guys missed last class, please go and check the page. And then here you're gonna have 8 networks, sorry, 32 networks into 8 IPs. Sorry. Yeah, correct. 32 networks into 8 IPs, correct. So 32 into 8. Next, you're gonna have 64 networks into 4 IPs. Okay. Yes. So we understood this. We did this just one day before. Okay. So now let's start with class B. See, as I told you, if class C, if you guys didn't understand things properly, then class B will be difficult. That is what I've been saying from the beginning, right? When I started submitting last class, I told multiple times that you have to be strong enough in class C submitting to understand class B submitting. Okay, anyway, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have class B here. So class B's actual range is what? Actual range of class B is 128.0.0.0. From there, 191.255.255.255. So this is class B's range. Okay, and we know what is the default mask. The default mask is 255.255.0.0. Okay, So now let's take one network as an example, guys. To practice class B subnetting, I'm going to take one network in this range as an example. Right? Randomly, I'm picking this network 172.16.0.0. This is a network I'm going to use to practice class B subnetting. So 255.255.0.0. This is the subnet mask. Okay, so we're going to take this network and we're going to practice subnetting class B with this. Okay. Okay, so first let me write the actual range of this network. Okay, so what is the range? 172.16.0.0, right? And the range is where 172.16.255.255. Okay. Yes. Now how many IPs I have in this range, please? How many IPs I have? 256 into 256 IPs, right? Okay, so we have 256 into 256 IPs. Because if you see, here you have 0 to 255, and here also you have 0 to 255. So which means 2 octets, right? 2 octets for host, because you know the mask is what? 2 octets for host. If it's 2 octets for host, then it's going to be 256 into 256 IPs you're going to have. Okay. Now, let me break this into two ways. So listen to me clearly. This is the important point here. If you miss this, then you will not be able to understand class B subnetting. Right? Please listen carefully. I'm just going to divide this by 2. Okay. So usually the mask, the actual mask is this. The actual mask is this. This is the default mask, right? Let me write default subnet mask. Default subnet mask is 255.255.0.0, which is what? Which is slash 16. Okay, this is slash 16, right? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, now the new subnet mask, right? I'll put N, yes, new subnet mask is going to be what? It's going to be 255.255. Okay. And see here, here is where, right? If I try, because this is a 0, right? This is a 0, and then only you have this 0. So now I'm going to take this 0 and I'm going to write that into binary. So if I take that 0 and write into binary, you're going to get how many zeros? 8 zeros, right? So now it's going to be 1, right? I'm just going to convert this 0 to 1 followed by 7 zeros. Okay, which octet I'm changing, guys? I'm changing the third octet because why? Because already 2 octets are 255, 255. We start zeros, or zeros are starting from third octet here. So we are taking third octet and writing that fully in binary. And now I'm changing the first bit, right? The same way how we did in class C subnetting. The same way we are taking this and changing this one bit into 1 bit from 0 to 1. So what will be a new mask? 255.255.128.0. Got it? So 128.0. So now what will be the slash for this case? Slash 17. You got it? Now what is the new mask? The new mask is 255.255. Here 128. 128.0. Okay. Now how many networks you're going to have, guys? Right? With the default mask, you will have one network. One network is what you're going to have with the default mask. When you subnet, when you break that into 2 networks, or when you change one bit, you're going to get 2 networks, right? So for 2 networks, this is a new subnet mask. And subnet mask in the format of slash, this is the slash notation, slash 17. Okay, good. Now let's try to, we just divided into 2, right? If I break this into 2, then we're going to have network number 1 here, network number 2 here. Okay. Now here, what will be the first half? What is the range of how many IPs we're going to have in this half case? 1 to 8 into 256. Am I right? Because when you divide this by 2, you're going to get what? You're going to get 128 into 256. Okay, so if you have 256 into 256 IPs in the whole range, if you break them into half, the first half is going to have 128 into 256, and the second half is going to have how much? The same, 128 into 256, correct? Okay, good. 128 into 256. Okay, so now what will be the last range of this? The last range of this network first half, what is the last range of the first network? Okay, I'll tell you, keep listening. Maybe if you know, you can answer in the chat also. I'll write 172.16. Okay, and what is this case? How many we have? We have 128 into 256, correct? We have 128 into 2. That is what the number of IPs we have in each network. Right? That is in the first half. Now, how many values I need to have? This 128, right? This 128, I'm going to have it over here. So here we're going to have 128 values. And here we're going to have what? We're going to have 256 values, right? This is what this is. Right? This 128 into 256 is nothing but here, right? This range. So now what will be the answer? So what will be the last what will be the last IP address of the first half? What will be the last IP address of the network one? Okay, so if you wanted to have 128 values here, counting from 0, we're going to have till 127, correct? So 0 to 127, we have 128 values. Okay, and then here we're going to have 256 values, which is starting from 0 to 255. Isn't it clear? Hope you guys are, I hope you guys understood. Okay, this is the range of the, okay, just give me a minute, let me start. Yeah. Yes. Now we'll have this guy. So this is the first half phase. The first half, this is the range, right? The first half gets over at 127.255. And here 172.16 dot. What is the next IP? So 127.255 is the last IP. Means what is the next IP to be? 128.0. Clear? Because 127.255, it is over. Next is what? Next is 120.0. Right? And also if you check this, here also how many values we have? 128 values, correct? Here how many values we have? 256 values. So what is this? 128 into 256. Same what we got here is what we have here also. Okay. Now this is the /17, I can say, or I can say subnet mask 255, 128.0, or maybe if you break into two networks, this is what the answer is, right? Okay, let me take a different slide to write the subnet table, right? Which we generally write. Okay, in the last class I wrote, no, I took a subnet table, I wrote all these things, network address, broadcast address, host API and all. We'll take it. So what is the slash case? From now I'm going to use slash notation instead of subnet mask. But anyway, you can understand, right? /17 means what it is? 8 plus 8 plus 1 plus 0. 1 plus 0, which means 255, 255. If it is 1 means 128.0. Got it? So 255.255.128.0. That is what /17 is, right? From now we'll just maintain in slash format itself. Okay. So /17. Now let me write the change bits. How many bits got changed? 1 bit. Okay, 1 bit got changed. Okay. How many bits are unchanged, guys? You see the unchanged bits. How many bits are unchanged? If you see here, this bit only got changed, right? Only 1 bit got changed. Which means now we have 7 bits unchanged. And also, can you see this is one more octet here? This guy is 4th octet. There again, how many zeros you have? There you have again 8 zeros. You got the point. So which means unchanged bits is how much? Unchanged bits is 15 bits, right? Some people will think, it's 7 bits because 1 bit changed, and they'll see only this 7 bits and they say 7 bits unchanged. It's not just 7 bits, guys. You have one more octet. Can you see it? This 4th octet has got 8 zeros. So totally in the 3rd octet, you have 7 zeros unchanged. And in the 4th octet, you have 8 zeros unchanged. So totally it's going to be 15 bits unchanged. So unchanged bits, QCD, unchanged bits is 15. Okay. Now we can easily calculate the combination. What is the combination? The combination is going to be combination. What is it? 2-part change bits network into 2-part unchanged bits IPs. Okay, so what is it? So how many bits got changed here? 1 bit, right? Which means 2-part 1 network into 2-part 15 IPs. Okay, yeah, 2-part 1 network into 2-part 15 IPs. So if I further, separate and write it, it is 2 networks into what? So how do I write 2 power 15, guys? How do I write 2 power 15? So I can write 2 power 15 like this. I can write 2 power 15 like this, which is I can write 2 power 7 into 2 power 8. Can you understand? 2 power 15 is something but 2 power 7 to 2 power 8, right? Okay. So now IPs. Okay. So now if I further expand it and write it, I'm going to have how many networks? 2 networks into how many IPs, guys? Into, you're going to have 128. What is 2 power 7? 128. Into what is 2 power 8? 256 IPs. Okay. Can you understand? So anyway, see, this is the combination. Final combination is this only. This combination is what even I wrote here. Here also, I wrote the same thing. Can you see how many number of IPs one network will have? 128 into 256, right? So here, what did I do? Here I was having 256 into 256 divided by 2 I did. Okay, here what I'm doing? I'm just seeing the changed bits and unchanged bits, and I'm writing the same answer. Anyway, the answer is same. Either you divide this by 2, you will get the same answer. Or if you find out the changed bits and unchanged bits, and if you do this formula, this is also correct, right? I recommend you guys to, do it this way. Okay, so please, even though if you feel this is tougher than the other one, please try to follow this way, right? This is the actual right way to do it. Okay, find the change bits, find the unchanged bits, write the combination, right? Initially the combination will be 2 power 15 or something like that. Break that into 2 power 7 into 2 power 8, and then write 2 power 7 as 128, 2 power 8 is 256, right? Okay, yes. Now, let's try to understand, or let's try to write the subnet table. Okay, so we're going to have network address here, host IP, and then broadcast address. Okay, guys. If you very well understood class C submitting, then it's fine, guys, because class C submitting is very easy because we just dealt with 256 IPs. Breaking that was easy, but class B is actually tough. Yeah, that is when many people they lose submitting, or they start hating submitting because you need to spend time on submitting, only then you will understand it clearly, right? Maybe if you are just watching and listening, if you're understanding what I'm writing, that's fine. But again, I'm insisting what? Please do write this in the paper and see. Okay, yes. So now let's try to understand this guy. Okay, so what is the yeah? So we'll try to write it. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So now, what is the network address space? We're gonna have network address. So we're gonna have two networks, right? So this is network number 1, network number 2. Okay. So what is the network address? We take this, and what is the network address? This is the network address of the first network. This is the broadcast IP address of the first network, right? Let me write that. So network address is 172.16.0.0. Okay, and then broadcast IP address is 172.16.127.25. Clear? Okay, now we have to write the host IP address. So this is the network and this is the broadcast. Right now, what is host IP? We all know host IP is what? What IP we have next to network address? That is what the host IP address starts is. And what IP address you have before broadcast address? That is where the host IP address ends. Okay. So now all we have to understand is we have to take we'll take a separate slide and we'll try to understand what will come after this. So 172.16.0.0. Okay. Now I want you guys to answer in the chat, please. So what do you think will be the next IP address? Okay, you can personally send it to me. Yeah. What will be the next IP address, please? Okay, very good, very good. The students are answering it. So the next IP address is what? Next IP address is 172.16.0.1. Okay, got it? 0.1. Because many guys, I have seen many students, what they'll say is, and they argue with me, saying that they'll think that the next IP address to this is, they'll say 172.16.1.0. So here you have 0.0, no? They'll say 1.0. So they'll think that after 0.0, they'll think 1.0 will come, but that's wrong. Right? You cannot have 1.0. What is the next IP address? Next IP address is 0.1, right? You have to increase only here. So 0.0, next is 0.1. Okay, so when you will get 1.0, guys, 0.2, 0.3, once you reach 0.255, and then only you get what? You get 1.0. So next to 0.0, what is the next IP address? 0.1, not 1.0. 1.0 will come after 0.255 only. Got it? Yeah, very good. Let's go and write this in the host IP address. So you're going to have 172.16.0.1. Got it? Okay. So that is a range. And what is the last IP address? Now let me write the broadcast IP address. So 172.16.127.255. Okay, that is a broadcast IP, right? Broadcast IP. Okay, now what is the previous IP to this case? What is the previous IP? 172.16. Yeah, but 127.254. Yeah, very good. So because 127.255, previous to that is 127.254, right? Again, some students they argue with me, saying that before 127.255, they will say 172.16.126.255 will come. They'll always, they always have a habit of doing that -1 to the socket. That is wrong. You will not get 126.255. What is the previous IP address? 127.254. Okay, got it? Yes. Okay, let me write the host range 172.16.127. I'll just write it over here. I don't have space here. I'll write it in the next one. 254. Sorry, 254. 254. Okay. Yeah, so this is the host range. Okay, now let's write the next one, guys. So hope you guys can clearly understand it now. So what is the network number 2? Network starts where? Network number 2 starts at 128.0. Okay, so 128.0. Okay, and the broadcast IP address 172.16.255.255. Clear? Okay. So 172.16.128.1. That is a host starts and then host ends where 172.16.255.254. Got it? Okay, very good. So this is what exactly subnetting two networks, right? When you take class B, when you subnet into two networks, these are the two networks that we're gonna have, right? And which is very, very important, guys. Finally, the important one is the combination. Okay, so let me just write this clearly. 128 into 256. Okay, this is very, very important, guys. If you get this, then you'll be able to understand everything clearly. Okay, yeah. So hope you guys understood. Okay, slash 17. Okay, if you didn't understand it, then please go check the recordings once it is uploaded. Okay, don't leave submitting it. That is very important. Right? I've told you multiple times, submitting is the most important topic. And submitting doesn't come only in networking, right? Even if you want to be a cloud architect or a virtualization architect or whatever it is, right? Networking is a backbone for everything. And submitting is very important topic in networking. Okay, yeah. So now let's go with slash 18. Okay, let's go with slash 18. Okay, which is what? So now we did what we did for slash 17. Okay, now we'll go for slash 18. Okay, yes. So slash 16 is what it initially starts with, correct? So when you did slash 17, we did right now. So here it was one network, right? And here it's going to be two networks, right? If I further go with slash 18, right, which is we're gonna do it right now, slash 18, we're gonna have how many networks? We're gonna have four networks, correct? Okay, very good. So how many bits changed it is? One bit changed. Here, two bits changed. Okay. Yes, now we'll try to do slash 18. So slash 18. Okay. So now, yeah, we'll also write the subnet mask, we'll deal with slash itself, but we'll write the subnet mask also. What is subnet mask for slash 18? It's going to be 255.255.8, which is 8 plus 8, 16. And what it is given? It is given 18, right? Which means you're going to have 2 there. 8 plus 8 plus 2 is what? 18, right? So 2. So which means we have 2 over here. It's going to be 2 ones followed by 6 zeros, correct? And then, yeah, this is what the actual mask is. What is 2 1 followed by 6 zeros? It's going to be 192 here. 192.0. Okay, so 255.255.192.0. That is what the subnet mask for slash 18 is, right? And also we'll write the changed bits. Changed bits, how much? 2 bits. Okay. Yes, unchanged bits, UCB. Already we have 6 bits unchanged here. And then we have 8 bits unchanged here. Okay, what is UCB? Unchanged bits is 14. 14 bits. Okay, yes. Now let's try to understand the combination. Combination, very important. Okay, 2 power change bits into 2 power change bits network into 2 power unchanged bits IPs. Okay, it's going to be what? It's going to be 2 power 2 into 2 power 14. Okay, yes. So now what is the further result? 4 into, how do I break this? I can write this 2 power 14 into 2 power 6 into 2 power 8. Got it? Because we'll have 8 at last place. So remaining we'll have here. So 2 power 6 into 2 power 8. Okay, it's 2 power 8. So this is the IPs, right? This is the network. This is network, and this is the IPs. Okay, so what will be the answer now? Further, if I expand it, you're gonna have 4 networks into how many IPs? We're going to have 64 into, yeah, 64 into 256 IPs. Got it? Yeah. So here for slash 17, what we had is, for slash 17, we had 2 networks, 128 into 256. Here we have 4 networks. Each network will have how many IPs? 64 into 256. Okay, very good. So now let's go and write the table for them. So yes, network address, host IP address, broadcast address. Okay, so we're gonna have how many networks? For network number 1, network number 2, network number 3, network number 4. Okay, so 1.0, 1.6, sorry. We'll write this, we'll write this full network. 172 dot, sorry, I got confused with class C class 4 networks. This is class B 4 network, right? So it starts with what? 170 Yeah, what is the first network? 0.0. Okay, and where it's going to end with? Can you see 64 means what is 64 into 256, right? So which means what we're going to have? We're going to have 172.16.63.255. Can you understand? 0.0 to 63.255. Right? How many number of IPs we have here? 64 into 256. Can you understand? See, this is the easy guess, guys, actually. Usually, when I take classes to my students offline or online, I never do these things and all. Right? I'll just explain them slash 17, right? And I'll ask them to do slash 8. They'll be doing slash 18 by themselves. But here, I cannot ask you to do it and I cannot verify that also. So I'm just writing it. But anyway, hope you guys are understanding what I'm writing. Okay, so here most IP address 172.16.0.0, sorry, 0.1. From there, 172.16.63.254. Okay, this is the range. Okay, next network 172.16.64.0. Here 172.16.127.255. Okay, so here good 164. Can you see 64 to 127? Okay, and then 0 to 255, right? You should practice these days. If you keep listening to me, then you will not be able to understand things clearly, right? I want you guys to practice it definitely after the class. So yes. So we're gonna write 172.16.64.1. From there, we're gonna have 172.16.127.254. Okay. Yeah. So further, you can write other networks also. Let me just write the network and broadcast address. I don't want to write the host IP address because I don't have time. Let me write the network address and broadcast address only. 172.16.128.0. Okay, that's the network address. And what is the broadcast address? 172.16.191.255. Okay, so I'm writing only the network and broadcast base. When you guys copy it, please write the host IP also. Okay, and then network number 4, 172.16.192.0. Here's 172.16.255.255. Okay, so we started with what? We started with 0.0. We ended with what? We ended with 255, right? So how many networks we got in between? 4 networks. How many IPs we got in each network? 64 into 256. Okay. Yes, good. So now let's go for next. So we did slash 18. Now let's go and do slash 19 base. Type for it. Slash 19. Very simple. What is the mask? Subnet mask is going to be 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. And we're going to have 3 ones here, right? So 3 ones followed by 5 zeros. So what is it? 3 1 followed by 5 zeros. 224. So 224.0. That is the subnet mask. Okay. Yes. Now next is going to be combination, of course. Okay, combination. So you try to change the unchanged bit. CB 3 bits changed. UCB how much? I think 13, right? 13 bits unchanged. Yeah. What is the combination? The combination is going to be 2 power 3 networks into UCB is 13, right? So 13, how we can split and write? We can split like 2 power 5 into 2 power 8, right? So 2 power 8. So 2 power 13, right? 2 power 13, I'm breaking and writing it 2 power 5 into 2 power 8. So these many number of IPs we have. So what is the answer for this? We're going to have 8 networks into 32 into 256 IPs. Clear? Yeah. So now there is a combination. So once you got the combination, then from there it's going to be really easy. Okay, so we'll have slash, we're going to have network address, host IP address, and then the broadcast address. Okay, so we're going to have 1.0. What will be the broadcast IP? Can anyone guess? Sorry, it's not 1.0 actually. I know I'm getting confused with class C. Yeah, so network number 1, what is it? 172.16.0.0. Yes. What is the last IP case? Can you guess? The number of IPs we're going to have in one network is 32 into 256 IP. So what will be the last IP? Can anyone guess? 172.16. You can answer me personally. Yes, what is going to be the last IP address? So if we're going to have 32 into 256 IPs in a network, then what is going to be the last IP? Okay, very good, very good. Okay, I can say Heyman, Arvind Nair, Lakshmi, Deepan, so many guys. Very good. Okay, Gopal, Tej Kumar, Vignesh are very good. Yeah, please answer. I'm seeing all your answers. Okay, good. Jay Kumar, Subhash, very good. Yes. So we're gonna have 31.255. Very good. That's the because 32 IPs you're gonna have, right? So which means 31.255. Okay. So now host you want me to write? Okay, maybe I'll write for the first one around 172.16.0.1. From there, it's gonna be 172.16.31.254. Okay. Yes. Now we'll write network number 2 is network number 2, 172.16. What is going to be 32.0. Okay, that's network number 2. What is the broadcast IP of network number 2? 172.16.32, right? 32.0. 16.32.0 is the network address. 63.25 is the broadcast address, right? Again, it keeps going, right? Let me write a few more networks. Network number 3, network number 4, and finally I'll write the last one, which is network number 8. Yeah. So now this guy 172.16.64.0 and 172.16.95.255. Okay. Yes, again, it's going to be what? Again, anyway, it's going to be 172.16 only. Let me write the last two octets alone. So 96.0 to 127.255. Okay, so first 4 networks. And you can directly go to the last network. And why did I say to find out the last network, what do you have to do? You have to 256 minus what? Minus 32, correct? So 256 minus 32. So what is that? 2 minus 32, so 224. So we're going to have the last network, which is 172.16.32, right? So minus 32. 2 is minus 32. That's going to be 224.0. So 172.16, 224.0 till 172.16.255.255. Okay, clear? Yes. Good. So now we got slash 19 done, right? Likewise, we have to keep doing for multiple questions. Okay. Yes. So please, while you take notes, pause this recording, take notes, and then continue. Okay, I'm just gonna do it for slash 20 real quick. I'm not gonna write the whole table, but just for the understanding, I'm doing slash 20. So slash 20 mask is what? Subnet mask is going to be 255 dot. Yeah, now hope you guys are clear now. 255 dot, 255 dot, and we're gonna have 4 bits, right? 4 bits change, so which means we're gonna have 4 ones, followed by 4 zeros. Okay, that's going to go. That's going to be 240.0. Okay, someone must be 240.0. Okay, now change bits. CB is going to be 4. UCB is going to be 12. Okay, so combination, right? The combo is going to be 2 power 4 networks into, right? How do I break 12? I can break 2 power 12 as what? 2 power 4 into 2 power 8. Okay, that is the number of IPs. Okay, so what is the further combination? 16 networks into what? 16 into 256 IPs. Okay, so now network address, host IP, broadcast address. Okay, network 1.172.16.0.0. Okay, and how many IPs you're gonna have? 16 to 2 to 6 IPs, right? So in that case, what's going to be the broadcast IP? 172.16.15.255. Okay, very good. Okay, what is host? Who's going to be? Host is going to be what? 172.16.0.1. From there, we're gonna have 172.16.15.254. Okay, clear? Yes. So we have got network number 1 here, and network number 2. I'll write just network address alone. 172.16.16.0. Okay, and here it's only 172.16.31.255. Clear? Okay, so it keeps going, guys. And finally, what is going to be network number 16, the last network? So 172.16.16.240.0. Okay, and then 172.16.255.250. Again, the same concept. We start with 0.0, we ended with 255.255. And how many number of networks we have got? 16 networks. How many number of IPs we have in each network? 16 into 256 IPs. Clear? Okay. So now, see, we can keep writing, guys, one by one. I can keep writing. You can continue this. But what I would like to do is, I would like to jump little, because we cannot solve everything, right? Let me jump little, right? I'm going to take /23 directly. We'll see how /23 is going to work. So we'll jump to /23. So if you take /23, I'm skipping 21, 22. So after 20, I'm not writing 21. If you want, you can write it. I'm not writing 21. It's possible, right? You can write for 21 also, but I'm not writing it. 22 also, I'm not writing it to save some time. So we'll go and write /23 directly. Okay. So in that case, what is the subnet mask? The subnet mask will be 255.255. And see how many bits got changed, guys. From 16 we started, right? To 23. How many bits got changed? 7 bits. Okay, 7 bits changed. So 7 ones followed by how many zeros? 1 0, right? What is 7 1 followed by 1 0, guys? It's 254. Okay, and then after that you have full of 8 zeros. Got it? Okay, so this is 254.0. What is the subnet mask? What is /23? Right? So subnet mask is 255.255.254.0. Okay, now change bits. How much? 7. Unchanged bits. How much? Have 9. Okay, so combo. Okay, don't leave this. Combo is very important, right? Combination 2 power 7 networks into how do you break 2 power 9? We can break 2 power 9 into 2 power 1 into 2 power 8. Correct? IPs. Okay, so what is the answer for this? 128 networks into how many IPs, guys? 120 networks into 256 IPs. Got it? 2 into 256. In that case, what happens? Okay, let's write this. So 120 networks totally we're going to have, but the number of IPs we're going to have in each network is just going to be 2 into 256, which is 512 IPs. Okay, network address will take, host IP will take, broadcast address will take, right? So this is going to be network number 1. So what is the answer? 172.16.0.0. Wait, and how many number of IPs we need to have in one network, guys? Just 2 into 256, right? Just 2 into 256. In that case, what happens? Yeah, very good, very good. I can see students are answering already in the chat. 172.16. What is it? 1.256. Can you see? The 0 and this 1. How many values are there? 2 values, right? That is what this 2 is. Right? 0 to 1. Right? And what is this guy? 256. How many values we have here? 0 to 256. How many values do we have there? 256 values. Can you understand? So which means 172 in 0.02, 1.255. Okay. Is this network number 1? What is host? Host going to be 172.16.0.1 to 172.16. What is this case? 1.254. 1.254. Okay. Clear? Yes. What is the next network? Network number 2. Here we complete with 1.25. Right? Next it's going to start with what? It's going to start with 2.0, and it's going to end with what? 3.255. Or next 4.0, it's going to end with what? 5.255. Right? If it keeps going like this, next is going to be 6.0. That's going to end with 7.255. So if it goes like this, then at some point, what is the last network? How many number of networks we can have? 120 networks, right? What is network number 128? In 128, network number 120 is going to have what, please? 172.16.254.0. Can you understand? 0, 2, 4, 6. Likewise, if you see, 254.0 will be the network address. And what will be the broadcast IP? 172.16.255.255. Okay, so 254.0 to 255.255. Okay, got it? Yeah. So how many number of networks we have? Just let's check with the combination, guys. How many networks we have? 128 networks. Okay, how many IPs we have? 2 into 256. What is the 2 into 256? This is what that 2 into 256 IPs is. Can you understand? 0.0 to 1.255. Right? So you have 2 into 256 IPs over there. Hope you guys are clear. Okay, so shall we go to the next one? See, I'm doing it fast only, guys, because you know the nature of the course. Right? This is just a CCNA basics class, and we are planning it only for 15 sessions. I cannot ask you guys to actually do it, and we cannot go for the next session, right? I'm just gonna go and do everything slowly. If you guys are really interested, check the recordings and then do it. Or maybe now itself you can understand it, fine. Right? If you are not understanding it, that's because you need to practice it. Right? Once you practice it, maybe if I give 5 minutes time for each and every slash notation for you guys to write in the note, and then if I continue the next one, then you will have a clarity. But here, just like that, I'm moving on because you don't have time for everything. Okay, so let's go with slash 24. Okay, how slash 24 works? See, some people think that slash 24 means isn't it class C? See, slash 24 is not class C, guys. Slash 24 is a mask, right? How you say class C? Class C means if the IP starts with 192, right? That is what you see class C, no? That is what you say class C, right? What is this? This is class B because why? Because we are starting with 172. Okay. Yes. Now understand. Now when you further break class B, right? If you take this network and if you keep breaking it, right here we have 23. Right. Further, if you break, you will get slash 24. Further you break, you get slash 25. Further you break, you get slash 26. It keeps going like this. Now we are trying to do slash 24. Yep. Yes. Don't think that slash 24 is classy. Slash 24 is not classy. Right? Slash 24 is the mask. Okay. Yes. Okay, now let's try to understand this. Very good. So easy. The mask is very easy now. It's going to be subnet mask. What is going to be the mask? 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 0. Right? Because slash 24, right? 255 255 255 dot 0. Okay. Yes. Change the bits, guys. Change the bits. 8. Because 8, this whole thing has been changed, right? We started with this only, no. Now the whole bit has been changed. 8 bits changed. How many bits are unchanged? That is also 8. Because why? Because this whole octet is unchanged. So 8 bit change, 8 bits unchanged. Now we'll try to understand this. Okay. So now the combination is going to be 2 power 8 networks into what is this? 8, right? We can simply write 2 power 8 IPs. 2 power 8 networks into 2 power 8 IPs. Okay, so what is it? 256 networks into 256 IPs. Are you guys clear? Okay, 256 networks into 256 IPs. So in that case, we're going to clearly understand this. Each network is going to have only how many IPs, guys? Only 256 IPs. So now let me take this network address, host IP, and then broadcast address. So we're going to have 172.16.0.0. Okay, that is the first network, correct? Okay, how many IPs we're going to have in that each network? Each network, how many IPs? Only 256 IPs. In that case, broadcast is going to be what? Can anyone guess what will be the broadcast in the chat? 176. What is the broadcast IP? We're going to have only 256 IPs in one network. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. 0.255. Very good, please. 0.255. Yes. So now 172 starts with 0.0 and ends with 0.255, right? What is the host IP address? The host IP address will be 172.16.254.0. 16.0.1. From there, it's going to be 172.16.1.2, sorry, 0.254. Correct? 0.254. Next, what is this network number 1? Okay, network number 1. So I think my PC is a little slow, I guess. I know there is some issue with my PC today. Anyway, we'll continue. I think I hope you guys are understanding things smoothly, right? Just acknowledge, right? Whatever I write, is it look smooth? Smooth, please. Fine, no? Yeah. Okay. So yes, network number 2. What is it? 172.16.1.0. Because we have 0.0. Now, what is next? 1.0. Right? Because we completed till 0.255. Next is 1.0. And what this guy is going to be 1.255. And next, network number 3, 2.0, 2.255. Okay, it keeps going, right? Next, network number 4, 3.02, 3.255. And what will be, this is network number 3, this is network number 4. And what is network number, how many networks we plan to have? We plan to have 256 networks, correct? Yeah. So what is network number 256? Yeah, 172.16.255.0. And what is the broadcast IP? 255.255. Okay, 172.16.255. The same story is, we started with 0.0. We ended with 255.255. By how many networks we got? 256 networks. How many IPs we have in each network? That is also 256. Okay, clear, correct? Okay, so yes, just two more questions, and 2 or maybe 3 more questions I'll have in class B. Next is going to be, we completed /24, right? Now I'm going to write /25. Okay. Yes. So this is where it is more attention is required, guys. This is where now generally students get confused. When I ask them to write these questions and all, everyone will perfectly write till /24, right? Because it's easy only. But /25 only, they basically feel it's confusing, right? So I wanted to clarify /25 here. Okay. So what is the subnet mask? Right. So yes, 255.255.255. What is the case? So already we started with /16. That is what the default mask is, /16. We came all the way to /25. Okay, /25 we came. How many bits changed? 9 bits. Okay, 9 bits changed. So in that case, it's going to be 9 bits, means already 8 bits fully changed here. Right? So it's going to be what? It's going to be 255.255.255.128. Okay. Yes, good. Now we'll have the change bits unchanged. Same story only. Change bits 9 bits, right? 9 bits changed because already we have 8 bits changed here and then 1 bit changed here. Got it? 9 bits has been changed. Okay, so change bits 9, unchanged bits. Okay, unchanged bits is going to be UCD. Unchanged is going to be 7. Okay, so change 9, unchanged is 7. Okay, so now let's try to find the combination, right? He is the god of subnetting. If you find the combination, then you got it. Okay, combination is what? Now we're gonna have 2 power 9 networks, correct? And we're gonna have 2 power what? 2 power 7 IPs. Okay, what is it? 2 power 9 networks? 2 power 9 networks is 512 networks. And this guy, 128 IPs per network. You got it? So you're gonna have 2 power 9 networks, which is we're gonna have 512 networks, and each network is gonna have only 128 IPs. Okay. Yes. So we'll try to understand this here. You're gonna have network address, host IP, and then broadcast address. Okay, so we're gonna have all the way from network 1, network number 2. We're gonna have till network number 2. Sorry, network number what? Network number 512. We're gonna have 512 networks, right? Network number 512. Okay, what is the first network? 172.16.0.0. How many IPs in a network is? How many IPs in a network? Only 128. In that case, what will be the broadcast address? Can you guess? 172.16. Yes, very good. 0.127. 0.127. 0.02, 0.127. 127, right? So which has got how many IPs? 128 IPs over here. Okay, yeah. So next is we're gonna have 172.16.0.128. Got it? And then we're gonna have what? 0.255. 255. Next to what we have, we're gonna have 1.0. Okay, see, we completed 0.255, right? Next is 1.0. Next here 1.127 and 1.120, sorry, 1.128, 1.128 till 1.255. Right? Again, it keeps going, right? It keeps going. And finally, what will be the last network is? What is network number? Maybe we'll have 511. What is network number 511? 172.16.255.0. That is 511 network. And what is the broadcast IP? 172.16.255.127. Can you understand? 0.0, 0.127, 0.128, 0.258. Now the same way we completed 0 here, no? We completed 1 here, no? We have to repeat the same thing for what also? 255 also, right? Now network number 512. Network number 512. What is that guy? 172.16.255.128. 172.16.255.1, sorry, 255.255. Okay. In the same thing. Started with 0.0. Ended with 255.255. How many number of networks we have? 512 networks. How many number of IPs we have? 120 IPs. Clear? Okay. So quickly, we'll solve two more exercises. Please stay with me. We'll solve two more exercises. Slash 25 we completed. Now I'm going to take slash 29 directly. We're going to jump. So after 25, I skipped 26, 27 I skipped, 28 I skipped, 29 I skipped, sorry, 29 only, right? So I skipped these three, right? If you want, you can try that also, right? But I'm skipping it to save some time. And I'm going to directly write slash 29. Okay. I want you guys to help me out. So what is the subnet mask? Right? How you say 29 guys? 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 5. This is what 29 is, right? 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24. Then you add 5, it's 29. Now, what is the mask for this? See, all these things you need to know. The more and more you practice, you will understand, right? Suddenly, if I ask slash 29, you should be able to say the mask of it. Okay, that comes because of practice only. Okay, so yes, 255 dot. Let me write it clearly. 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot. Here 5 ones. So what is it? 5 ones. 5 ones means 248. Okay, 5 ones. This is nothing but 5 ones space followed by 3 zeros, right? That is what this 5 is. Okay, which is 248. Okay, so now we have this as a mask. It is not erasing. Okay, wait. Okay. Wait. Something is wrong with my this thing today. I don't know what is wrong. Okay. Yes, I'll write it here. Okay, so we are trying to understand slash 29, no? So the mask for that is what? Subnet mask 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 248. Yeah, that is the mask. Okay, so now change bits, unchanged bits. So CB, how many bits got changed? Here 8 and then here 5. How many bits changed? 8? 13 bits changed. Unchanged UCB, unchanged bits is just 3. Okay, totally. Because here if you see just only 3 zeros, right? 3 zeros are left. We have 5 ones. 5 ones there, 3 zeros there. So change bits is 13, unchanged bits is 3. Okay. Okay, so shall we calculate the combination? So 2 power 13 networks into 2 power 3 IPs. Okay, maybe if you want to really calculate 2 power 13, you can calculate. I think 2 power 13 is 8192 network space. Am I correct? Yeah, I think it's correct. 2 power 13 is 8192 networks into how many IPs? 8 IPs in a network. Yes, shall we write network address, the host, and then the broadcast. Okay, what we're gonna have? We're gonna have 172.16.0.0, and we're gonna have 172.16. What is the broadcast IP? How many IPs we're gonna have in one network? Just 8 IPs, right? In that case, what is the answer? Yeah, the answer is 0.7. Okay, very good. Yes. So now next we're gonna be what? 0.8 to 0.15. Next is 0.16 to 0.23. Next is 0.24 to 0.31. Right? Can you understand how it goes, guys? Yeah, this is network number 1, network number 2, network number 3, network number 4 I wrote that. Now what is network number 8192? Can anyone guess what will be network number 8192? I'm going to write it directly. If you're not understanding it, you have to think about it. Please. 172.16.255 dot 255 dot. And how many APs we have in one network is 8 APs only, no? So 256 minus 8 is what? 248. You got the point? So 255.248 will be the network address. And what is the broadcast address? 172.16.255.255. Okay. Again, started with 0.0, ended with 255.255, divided into 8,192 networks. The number of IPs in each network is just 8 IPs. Clear? So last exercise in class B. Okay, /30. So anyway, beyond /30, we never gonna go. We know that /30. Let's go with /30. Mask is what? Mask is 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot. What is this? 252. Because here 8 bits changed because you started with /16, correct? How many bits got changed? 14 bits changed. 14 means 8 bits fully changed here and 6 bits changed here. This is what 14 is, right? So if you have 8 bits, then what is that? 8 ones followed by 2 zeros. 255, 255, 255 dot 252. Okay. Yes. Now change bits 14, unchanged bits just 2. Okay. So now the combination is going to be 2 power 14 networks into 2 power 2 IPs. Okay. That's going to be what? That's going to be 16,384 networks. 2 power 14 is 16,384 networks into 4 IPs. Right? See, I'm not having any calculator with me to calculate this value. Right? If it is 2 power 14 and if I'm writing it 16,384, it's not I'm having calculator and all. Right? And it's not even that I'm just calculating it so fast. Right? It's not like that. I've seen these numbers so many times. Right? You know how many times I've taken these classes to students. I know if it's 2 power 14, I very well know it is 16,384. That is why I'm so quickly writing it. Okay, so if you want, if the more and more you spend time with these numbers and all, you'll automatically understand it. Okay, yes. So now we understood that we're gonna have 4 IPs. Yeah, similarly, network address, host IP, broadcast address. We're gonna have what? We're gonna have 172.16.0.0. Network number 1, and this is going to be 172.16.0.b. Okay, host IP. My laptop is today slow little bit. It's not the Zoom meeting delay, it is my laptop delay. Right? Whatever I write here, it just comes over there after a few seconds. Now you will see okay, 0.0.1. I wrote it already, but now it's appearing. Okay, 0.1, and then from there till 172.16.0.2. Here. Yeah, so this is network number 1. So can you see all IPs we wrote 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Okay, now shall we write network number 2, guys? Yeah. So network number 2, 172.16.0.4 from there to 0.5. Okay. What is the host IP? Sorry. 0.7. 0.7. 0.7 host IP will be 0.5 to 0.6. Okay. Yeah. So this is network number 2. Right. I can write network number 3, 0.8 to 0.11, 0.12, 0.12 to 0.15. It keeps going like that. Right. And finally, when you try to write this last interface, network number 16,384, what we're gonna get? What is the last network? 172.16 dot, yes, 255.252, 255.252. Okay, and broadcast IP ends with 172.16.255.255. Okay, again we started with 172.16.0.0. We ended with 172.16.255.255. We had how many networks? 16,384 networks. And how many IPs we have in each network? Just 4 IPs. Okay. So further we're not gonna go because we already know it. Right? Here itself you have only how many IPs? 4 IPs only. To further break it, if you try for /31, guys, that time what you will not have? Right, you will have only 2 IPs in a network. If you further break, in that case, one will be for network and the other one will be for broadcast, right? So we don't go with further subnetting. We're gonna always stop it. What? We're gonna always stop it /30. Okay, this is what we did even for class C. Okay, so now class C we started with /24. We went with we went with /30. We start with /24. We went till /30. In class B, this is class C, right? In class B, we're gonna start with slash. We start with /16. Went with /30. Okay. Yes. So here we started with /16. We went /30. Okay. Now, fine. We'll write. Maybe this we'll try to write this. So this is basically. See, guys, I'm not gonna spend completely class A. I'm not gonna spend time in the class. What I'll do is I initially today itself I'll just give you initial idea about how class A is gonna work, and I want you guys to do class A by yourself, right? Maybe I'll just give you a couple of initial questions or initial exercise I'll solve, and I want you guys to completely take care of class A. Okay. Yes. So now we'll write the summary table. Okay, this is for summary table for what? Summary table for class B. Okay. Yes. So we start with what? We start with slash, right? So slash, and then we're gonna have the mask, subnet mask, and then we're gonna have the change bits. We're gonna have the unchanged bits, and we're gonna have the combination. Okay. So slash, we start with what? We start with /16, correct? So /16. So /16. What is the mask, please? 255.255.0.0. This is what /16 is. Change bits, 0 bits change. Unchanged bits, 16 bits unchanged, right? No bits has been changed. So what is the combination? 2 power 0 network into 2 power 16 IPs, right? So how you generally write this is, you write this as 2 networks into 256 into 256, right? Because why? You break this 2 power 16 into what? 2 power 8 into 2 power 8, right? That 2 power into 2 power 8 is what I have written here. 256 into 256. Okay. So further, /17 if you take 255 dot. Yeah, sorry, yeah, correct. So thanks for thanks, I saw you is messaging me. Okay, so wrong. That's not 2 networks actually, 1 network, right? Very good. Okay, so I'm happy that you guys are really attentive. 255.255.128.0. Okay, change bits, 1 bit change, unchanged bits, 15. Now it's going to be 2 power 1 network into 2 power 15 IPs. Now you know what you're going to get here. 1 network into 128 into 256 IPs. Right, like this, I want you guys to write when you practice submitting, when you write these tables and all, right? Finally, finish class B with summary table of class B and finish it till /30. I want you guys to write everything 16, 17, 18, 19. Don't directly jump to 30. I want you guys to write everything till /30. Got it? Okay. So now we just go with next thing is, so we're gonna start with class A. See, today I plan to finish submitting. So I'll start with class A, and further, if you guys, needed, you practice class A. By, I think I'm giving you the concept very well, based. Now you understood what is the procedure and all. Right now, if you understood class B, then class A is going to be really easy. I don't want to spend much time on writing everything in class A also. Right. So we'll take class A. I'll just give you the introduction of class A. Right, and then I'll leave it you guys to do it. Okay. So class A. So class A, the range is 0.0.0.0. From there, 25, sorry. From there, 127 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. Right. This is the class A's network range. Right. And what is the default mask for class A? 255.0.0.0. Correct. Okay. So now we'll take one network as an example. In this range, I'm just going to take 10 network, 10.0.0.0 network. And the default mask is what? 255.0.0.0. Okay, so we'll take this network as an example to solve class A subnetting. Okay, so which is, what is this 255.255.0.0.0? What do you call this? Slash 8, right? Okay, so which means we're going to take this network 10.0.0.0/8 network to practice subnetting on class A. Okay, it's very simple. Now we have 10.0.0.0 from there till 10.255.255.255. Okay, so how many number of IPs we have here? 256 into 256 into 256, correct? Okay, so if I break this into two, okay, what we're gonna get? We're gonna get 128 into 256 into 256, correct? Okay, here also what we're gonna get? We're gonna get 128 into 256 into 256. Okay, so what will be the last IP? Can you guys guess what will be the last IP address? 10 dot. Oh yeah, correct. 127 dot, because 120 we have no here. So 127. So 128 values you need to have. You need to have 128 values. So 0 to 127. Next to here you need to have 256 values. Here also we need to have 256 values. So 127 dot 255 dot 255. Okay. Very good, guys. Now we started breaking where? We started breaking the third octet. Sorry. We started breaking from the second octet. Okay. Yes. So what is the next one? 10.128.0.0. Okay, this is the next one. So here also we have same 128 into 256 into 256. This is 128. Okay. Yes. So now shall we write this in the table, please? Okay. So now /9. That is where the subnetting actually happens, breaking that into one network. Okay, /9. What is the mask? 255 dot. What is this? 255 dot 128.0.0. Correct? Yeah. Next is change bits. Change with how much? 1 bit. Okay, because we started with /8 is what the default one is, right? /8. From /8 we are going to /9. So change bits is 1. Unchanged bit. Unchanged bit is how much? Can you guys guess how many unchanged bits? Yes, we see here 7 bits unchanged, because it's 1 followed by 7 zeros, correct? And then here also we have what? 8 bits unchanged. Here also 8 bit unchanged, which means 7 plus 8 plus 8, which is 23 totally. Okay, very good, right? Many are answering. Okay, 23 bits unchanged. Okay. So yes, now we'll try to get the combination of this. Combination. So combination 2 part 1 network. How you basically write this 2 part 23, guys? We can write 2 part 23 as what? 2 part 7 into 2 part 8 into 2 part 8. So we write like this: 2 part 7 into 2 part 8 into 2 part 8. Okay, so what is it? It's going to be 2 networks into 128 into 256 into 256. Okay. Yes. So now you can see that these many number of IPs we're gonna have in one single network. Okay, that value is what this value also, no? Here also we got the same thing, right? Here we divided this by 2. Right now we calculate the same thing with what? Unchanged. Either you can calculate with unchanged things, or you can divide by the number of networks and you can get the answer. Okay, so I feel this is initially easy for you guys. Go with unchanged bits, find out the combination. Okay. Yes, now we're gonna write the network address, broadcast address, and then host IP. Yes, 10 dot network number 1 is 10.0.0.0. Okay, and we're gonna have one more network number 2. But what is the broadcast IP? Can you guess what is the broadcast IP? We're gonna have how many IPs? 1 to 8 into 2 into 6. 8. Broadcast is what? Here, did I write this here? Okay, maybe I think I didn't write it here. Yeah, I wrote it. No, I wrote it. Okay, so what is it? 10 dot, yeah, 10 dot 127 dot 255 dot 255. Okay, what is the host IP? The host IP is 10.0.0.1, right? That is where the host IP, right? Next to 10.0.0.0, we have 10.0.0.1. And what is the broadcast address? 10.127.255.254. Correct? Here you have 255, no? Here you're gonna have 254. Here you have 0, no? Here you're gonna have 1, right? This is the actual range. Okay. So this is network number 1. So we'll have network number 2 now, which is 10.128.0.0. Okay. From there till 10.255.255.255. Okay. Yes. Now what is the valid range? 10.128.0.1. From there 10.255.255.254. Got it? Case. Now we start with 10.0.0.0. We ended with 10.255.255.255. Okay. And then we have 2 networks on this side, and we have how many IPs on this side? 128 into 256. Okay. Yes. So let me just do one more alone, guys, and then I'll give it to you guys from there. /10 we'll try to do. Yes, /10. Just /9 we did, /10 we do now. So again, subnet mask is going to be 255.192.0.0. That's the mask. And then change bits, 2 bits changed, unchanged bits 22. Okay, combination 2 power 2 networks change bits into 2 power 22 IPs. Right. So how you write this is, so 2 power 22, how will write? We'll write 2 power 22 as 2 power 6 into 2 power 8 into 2 power 8. Okay, we'll write like this. Okay, now what is the answer? The answer will be 4 networks into what? 64 into 256 into 256. Very good. So yes, network address, host IP, broadcast address. Okay, so it's going to be 10.0.0.0, and we're going to have 10 point what? 63.255.255. Okay, so now you know what host IP you will get, right? It's going to be 10.0.0.1 to 10.63.255.254. Okay. Yes. So next thing is we're gonna have next network 10.64.0.0. We finished with 63 here, no? 64.0.0. Next is 10.127.255.255. Next is 10.128.0.0. Here 10.191.255.255 and 10.192.0.0. 10.255.255.255. Same story. Started with 10.0.0.0, finished with 10.255.255.255. How many networks? 4 networks. How many IPs per network? 64 into 256. Now you can follow this for all the other questions, right? Maybe here I'll give you some questions, guys. I wrote it for slash. Yeah. So here, class C, what we did? We started with /24. We went with /30. This is class C. Class B, I did what? Start with /16 and then went till /30. Okay. So class A, what is the default mask for class A? It starts with /8, right? /8 and then You have to go till /30. It can also go till /30. Okay. So here I'll give you a few exercises, guys. Maybe I wrote /9, I wrote 10 also I wrote. I want you guys to try others. Maybe if you are trying it by yourself, you can try others. Try next to 10, you can try 16. No need to write everything because it's time waste, right? Time consuming stuff. So you can jump to 16 and then you can jump to 20 and then you can jump to 20, okay, 23, 24, 25, and finally 30. Okay. So you guys have got how many questions? 9, 10. Okay, I think you have got how many? I think this is sufficient, guys. Fine. Did I miss anything? Okay, I think fine. 16, 20, 23, 24, 25, 30, right? So solve these 8 questions. In that I itself solved all the 9 and 10, right? I want you guys to solve the remaining 8 questions. Okay. So if you have any doubts while solving it, right? So I don't know how many of you really did class C, guys. Okay, I told you on that day, Saturday, I insisted a lot. Go and practice class C, right? I think those who practiced the class C, you will have a very good clarity in today's class. But if you guys didn't practice class C, then that is where the problem is. Maybe you are not understanding it very clearly. That is because you didn't practice class C. Okay. So now practice class B again. I wrote everything, right? In fact, this is the first time I'm writing, all these things by myself. Generally, what I do is I'll solve 1 or 2 questions, guys, right? And then give all the questions to the students to do in the class. Maybe I'll solve /17 and 18 and I'll give everything to the students. So this is the first time, when you take class B, I wrote all the questions by myself, right? Starting from 16 to 30. We skipped some questions in between, but most of the questions we wrote, right? Now my fingers are actually paining. After a long time, I'm just writing, for a long time. Yes. Now, what I was trying to say is, please practice this, and then only you'll be able to understand. Right? I wrote everything by myself. I want you guys to write the same thing, and after finishing it, go with class A. Right? Write class A, and then I wrote for 10 and 9 and 10. Right? You can write for 9 and 10, and then remaining also. Once this is done, right? Like how we wrote for class. Where is it? Class C summary table. Okay, is it not here? Sorry, how we wrote class B summary table. I want you to write class A summary table also. Okay, same way, right? You have to start with, or you have to start with /8, /9, /10, like that, right? You have to go till /30. This is class A summary table. After finishing class B, write class A also. Okay. So I think we just gonna finish the class over here. It is very important, guys. If you're not understanding it, then you need to check it. Some people they'll understand first attempt. Some people they need a couple of attempts to learn and understand this. But don't skip this. Don't leave this. This is a very very important topic, right? I can tell you guys simply this example I can give you, right? So totally, there are websites. When you just search on the internet, right? This way I can prove how important subnetting is. So this is really slow today. I don't know why. Okay, so I'll just go and search for subnetting exercises. Oh, sorry, I made a typo. Subnetting exercises. So now you see there are so many websites which has got subnetting, right? There are many websites that is dedicated for subnetting alone, right? Even there are even many applications, right? So there are even many applications, like you can find the app in Android, you can find the app in iOS. So the one and only concept which has got existence in the app is subnetting. Okay. No other concept is, no static routing, no DHCP, no DNS, nothing has got a app developed for this, right? And almost there are 1,000+ websites which is dedicated to learn subnetting alone, right? And no other networking topic has got those many documentations, right? Why? Because now you understand how important the concept is, right? So if you take static routing, you can hardly find static routing documentation in maybe up to 10 to 20 websites will give you documentation of static routing. If you go with DHCP, some 20 to 30 websites can give the information about DHCP. But if you search for subnetting, 1,000+ websites are dedicated, designed for this one alone, right? And what I recommend after classes, right? If you submitting exercise, or you can search for submitting questions. This is a website that I generally use in my classes. Okay, so submitting questions, if you go, this guy, right? All the other websites also fine only, guys. You can go with any website that you want. But I generally go with this question, submittingquestions.com. And there you go and you can keep solving the questions. Right? Can you see last valid host of this? Can you understand what is the question, please? Last valid host. Okay, you can just go reveal this answer to see the next one, right? You can keep doing it. There are so many questions that is on submitting, right? There are plenty of resources that we have to practice submitting. All you need to do is spend some time on it. That's it. Okay, don't ignore this concept, right? It is math, it's full of math, okay, but not complicated math, right? Just subtraction, division, multiplication, two powers, that's it. Yeah, please use the class resource properly, right? And I've seen so many YouTube videos, guys. I generally, I search for networking. I do generally see how people teach in YouTube, right? No, it's like a crap. Many guys, they don't even say the purpose and they randomly teach submitting, right? See, I have a very good quality content. You can follow this. Maybe if you are referring some YouTube content, most of the trainers are not good. Very few trainers are good in YouTube also. Okay, maybe if you're following some YouTube videos, right? If you feel that that YouTube video or that method is easy for you to do, to solve something, just go ahead with that itself, right? Say everyone has got different way of teaching, and since it's mathematics, right, you have multiple ways to solve one problem. So if you are learning mine, just go with mine. If you already referred some YouTube videos and if you follow his method and if you feel that is easy for you, better go with it, right? So just stick with one method initially, right? Unless you become master in something, don't refer to multiple way of learning, right? It will confuse you finally. Just go with one way of learning, get master in submitting, and then you can go and check whatever videos you want. You will understand what they're actually trying to say. Okay. Yes, guys. So let me finish it here. See you guys tomorrow. Right. We're gonna discuss next topic to submitting. We're gonna discuss tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. I'll end the meeting now. Thank you.